السلام عليكم طلاب. يوم محاضرتنا راح نتكلم عن fragments, the writing process. First of step 1 rewriting, step 2 organizing, step 3 writing, step 4 polishing, revising and editing, review for all the chapter and writing assignments. Fragments we call an incomplete sentence a fragment. Fragments are sentence error. Okay. For example, it's not easy to get an A in Professor Wilson's class. There is no subject. 2. People in New York always in a hurry. There is no verb. To correct sentence 1 as a subject. It is not easy to get an A in Professor Wilson's class. To correct sentence 2, add a verb. People in New York are always in a hurry. Now fragments are sentence error. May a sentence don't have subject, or may a sentence don't have a verb or incomplete expression. هنا عندنا fragment يا إما الجملة ما بيها ممكن فعل أو فاعل أو ما تنطي معنى كامل فنسميهم fragment. هنا نحاول نشخص fragments وبعدين نصححها. فمثلا هنا عندنا is not easy. بالبداية احنا هنا شفنا ما عندها subject, so خلينا subject. طيب احنا ليش خلينا subject في البداية؟ لأنه ما عندنا question mark، فكانت affirmative sentence يعني تشير لأن الجملة خبرية. كذلك الحال هنا لما شفنا people هنا هو subject، بعدين هنا the complement هنا عندنا subject وبعدين always adverb وبعدين in preposition وبعدين the complement. فهنا لاحظنا انه عندنا نقص بالverb فضفنا verb. هنا نحاول نشوف هاي examples او exercise. Correct each fragment by editing a subject or a verb. It is very hot today even with the windows open. فهنا عندنا the lack or the error in subject، يعني ما عندنا subject بما أن الجملة خبرية فضفنا it في البداية. طبعا خلينا it لأنها تتكلم عن general situation، ما مطلوب إنه هنا من عندنا نخلي اسم أو شخص معين، فقط حطينا it لأن general situation. Jules and Jen subject plural. The smartest students in class, the complement. So here we need a verb. We add a verb. They subject verb study all the time the complement. This sentence is correct. The baby subject finally adverb what will be the complement. So the baby here the subject, verb is finally adverb. Adverb always here comes after the verb be. يعني هذا عندنا be مثل is are am دائما يجي الادverb بعدهم ما يجي قبلهم. The complement sleeping. She subject is closing verb her eyes the complement, so it's correct. Mr. Woodbury our grammar. This is all the subject. Often adverb late on Fridays the complement. So Miss Woodbury our grammar teacher. Verb is often late on Friday the complement. When we say, we can say about these commas between them, the sentence between them is optional. Okay, we can remove it. Is verb important for students to get to class on time the complement. So we need subject is verb and the complement. This is about the fragments. The writing process. The writing or the process of writing has roughly 4 steps. In the first step, you create ideas. Here the step when you made a new ideas, several ideas about one topic. In the second step, you organize the ideas. In the third step, you write a rough draft. In the final step, you polish your rough draft by editing it and making revisions. عندنا 4 خطوات. الخطوة الأولى هي تكون عندك عدة أفكار على موضوع معين. الخطوة الثانية راح نرتب هذه الأفكار بصورة لستة أو قائمة. بعدين الخطوة الثالثة نكتب قائمة أو يعني مسودة نعنونها روف درافت. والخطوة الأخيرة اللي هي راح نصح أو نسوي إعادة تحرير للدرافت ونكتب بصورة صحيحة. Pre-writing. The first step is called pre-writing. Pre-writing is a way to get ideas. In this step, you choose a topic and collect ideas to explain the topic. Listing is a pre-writing technique in which you write the topic and at the top of a piece of paper and then quickly make a list of the words or phrases that come into your mind. Don't stop to wonder if an idea is good or not. Write it down. Keep on writing until the flow of ideas stops. هنا طبعا قبل الكتابة يجينا موضوع معين راح نكتب كل الأفكار اللي تجي ببالنا. كتبنا لستة بالأفكار اللي اجتنا لحد ما تتوقف كل الأفكار اللي عندنا. طبعا نكتبهم بدرافت، تكون عندنا مسودة الأفكار ممكن ننساها فنكتبها على ورقة لكن تكون قائمة. الخطوة الثانية. In the following example, the assignment طبعا هاي بعد من الخطوة الأولى The assignment was to write a paragraph about a person who has made a difference in the world, in the community, or in the writer's life. First, the writer made a list of people who have made a difference. Then he decided which person to write about and circled his choice. هنا طبعا إجانا الموضوع a person who has made a difference. هنا طبعا الموضوع احنا ايش راح نختار. طبعا هنا عندنا الافكار اللي راح تجينا مثل بيل جيتس، ماذر تيريزا، مارتن لوثر وهكذا. فذول الاشخاص اللي اجوا قبال الكاتب اللي راح يكتب لنا الموضوع. هو بعدين من كتبهم اللي اثروا بحياته اختار فقط grandfather وسوى سيركل على grandfather. هاي طبعا القائمة الأولى وهاي بعدنا بمرحلة pre-writing. فهنا next the writer started a new list. بعد الليستة الأولى اللي هي كانت هنا هاي الأسماء سوي لستة ثانية. Okay. He wrote his chosen topic grandfather at the top of a new piece of paper and started writing words and phrases that came into his mind about his grandfather. بالبداية عنوان الورقة grandfather بعدين كتب الأفكار اللي تتعلق أو about his grandfather اللي تتعلق بالجد. فمثلا عندنا uneducated high school 8th grade farmer worked hard, helped his community, started community hospital, respected in community, went to church every week, got up early, worked late, was the first person in town to pay a car, forward thinking, started hospital in town, only hospital in big area, first farmer to trace his land. Now everyone does it, improved farming techniques, in his area. Smart, read about new things. Tracing helps prevent soil erosion. Listen to experts. Thought things over, made me laugh when I was little. فهنا إذا لاحظنا انطى لستة ثانية عن كل الأشياء اللي يتميز بها الجد. okay. فسوى القائمة الثانية. هاي بعدنا طبعا بالبري رايتنج. نجي نكمل بعدنا بالستيب 1. The writer then looked at his second list and decided to write about how his grandfather helped his community. طبعا كان الخيار على كيف grandfather ساعد community، يعني هنا شلون ساعد المجتمع، فقط ركز على هاي الفكرة. He circled that idea. Then he thought about how his grandfather helped his community. He circled 2 ideas and marked them A and B. The writer also crossed out anything that didn't belong to these 2 ideas. طبعا هو قرر يتكلم how grandfather helped his community. Then he chose 3 or 2 ideas. Improved farming techniques in his area, started community hospital. The writer also crossed anything or any ideas that didn't belong to these ideas. So we choose 2 ideas. Also we choose the sentences that belong to these ideas. Okay, improved farming techniques like first farmer in tracing his land, to trace his land. Here start community hospital, start hospital in town. Okay, tracing helps prevent soil erosion belonging to idea A. هنا طبعا اختار موضوع انه كيف ساعد المجتمع. كانت فكرتين: مساعدة المجتمع، إنشاء المستشفى وتحسين التربة. فاختار الأفكار اللي تنتمي لهم. الأفكار اللي ما تنتمي لهم نقدر نقول هو استبعدهم. فهنا راح نعيد من جديد ملخص هاي الفكرة أو البري رايتنج. Use the listening technique to choose a person. In the second list, write down the ways in which this person made a difference. Choose 1 or 2 ways to write about and circle them. Don't write the paragraph yet. بهاي الخطوة احنا قلنا سوينا تقنية الليست. بالبداية اختارينا الأسماء الأشخاص، بعدين اختارينا شخص واحد وأعماله والأشياء المتميز بها، بعدين اختارينا فكرة أو فكرتين وعنوناهم A و B. بعدين بعدها راح نكتب نسوي الستيب الثانية. The next step in the writing process is to organize the ideas into a simple outline. بعد ما اختارينا الأفكار هنا طبعا نشوفها عشوائية غير منظمة، راح نسويها outline. The writer of our models wrote a sentence that named the topic, his grandfather, and told the main idea. His grandfather helped his community. Below the first sentence, he listed the 2 main ideas and any other words and phrases from the list that gave more information about them. بالبداية كتب الموضوع الرئيسي، وبعدين اختار grandfather. بعدين بعد ما grandfather helped his community طبعا راح يصير الموضوع الأول كأنما التايتل الأول الرئيسي، التايتل اللي بعده الثاني وبعدين التايتل اللي بعد الثانوي. يعني نلاحظ انه تدرج بالتايتلز او العناوين. My grandfather helped his community in 2 ways. He improved farming techniques in his area. first farmer to trace his land. Tracing helps to prevent soil erosion. He started a community hospital, only hospital in big area. فإذا نلاحظ A معها two supporting sentence و B أيضا معها one supporting sentence. Make a simple outline from the list you made in the try it out exercise on page 17. Give your outline a title like the one in the model. ممكن احنا نسوي كذا موضوع، مثلا ممكن نختار the favorite book, the favorite movie, the favorite teacher. هواي أشياء ممكن تلقى موضوع عنها، مو شرط إنه أشخاص أثروا عنك، مثلا عن مثلا خلينا نقول سمارت فون، مثلا نقول على new jobs وهكذا. Write a sentence like the one in the model that names the person and says what he or she did to make a difference. طبعا يعني نفس الحالة سواء التايتل الأول بعدين التايتل الثاني وبعدين هنا نقول شو سوى difference. Write the main ideas below this sentence. If there are two ideas up in the model, give them letters A and B. If there is only one main idea, give a capital letter to every idea that you list below the first sentence. يعني هنا إذا كان عندنا A و B نكتب A و B، إذا ما عندنا بس A و B ممكن نكتب A وبعدها جملة، وإذا كان عندنا فقط فكرة واحدة ممكن نخليها بالحروف الأكبر. Writing. The next step is to write rough draft. هنا بعد ما خلصنا مرحلة listing, organizing, energy writing. Using your outline as a guide. طبعا هاي outline راح تكون عندنا. Write your rough draft as quickly as you can without stopping to think about grammar, spelling or punctuation. هنا ضروري ومهمة هاي الفقرة إنه نكتبها بسرعة بدون اكتراث أو بدون ما نعطي انتباه للجرامر spelling أو punctuation without give don't give more attention about grammar, spelling, punctuation. Write it in quickly way. Just get your ideas down on paper. هاي العملية فقط نخلي الأفكار على غرار الأوتلاين اللي عندنا. You will probably see many errors. هنا correct. هنا إذا نلاحظ you will probably see many errors in your rough draft is good. This is perfectly usual and acceptable after all. This is just a rough draft. You will fix the error later. Notice that the writer added some ideas that were not in his outline. طبعا راح نلاحظ بالموديل من نقرأ أضاف أفكار عديدة غير اللي موجودة بالأوتلاين اللي عرضناه قبل شوي. Notice also that he added a concluding sentence at the end. أيضا راح نلاحظ أنه ضاف concluding sentence للنهاية. هنا a person who has made a difference. My grandfather helped. هذا لاحظنا ماكو فعل ماضي على الرغم ان احنا نتكلم بالزمن الماضي، لكن هنا قلنا ما نعطي أهمية هواي للإيرورز للspelling أو الجرامر. So help his community in two ways. My grandfather لازم نقول was born، أيضا كان خطأ الجرامر. Born in 1880. He was farmer, not well educated. Maybe he only went to high school for 1 or 2 years. In those days, children were needed to work on the farm. He was first farmer in his community to trade his field. Then people thought he was crazy, but now every farmer does it. Tracing helps prevent soil erosion. This improved farming techniques in his area. After he is too old to work at farming, my grandfather gets the idea that his town needs a hospital, so he spends his time raising money to build one. there is no hospitals nearby and people have to go long distance to see doctor. People again think he really crazy, but he succeeded. Now a small hospital in community and two doctors. Each of doctors have lots of patients. The hospital is named the James Walker Community Hospital. It was named for my grandfather. My grandfather just a simple and educated farmer, but he helped his community a lot. إذا لاحظنا ممكن إذا لاحظنا أكو هنا أخطاء هواية، ممكن تكون عدم تسلسل أفكار أو مثلا تكون أخطاء جرامر، لكن المهم كان يكتب بصورة سريعة حتى يقدر بعدها راح نروح step 4 polishing, revising and editing. In this step you polish what you have written. This step is also called revising and editing. Polishing is most successful if you do it in 2 steps. First, attack the big issues of content and organization, revising, then work on the smaller issue of grammar, punctuation, and mechanics editing. فهنا عندنا polishing step 4 هي editing، يعني شو ما نقول راح نسوي إعادة ترتيب للدرافت مالتنا، لازم تمشي بسياقا الكونتنت وأيضا على الجرامر. فهنا نركز بالبداية على الكونتنت and organization، وبعدين الستيب الثانية اللي هي راح نركز على الجرامر punctuation. بعد ما رتبنا الباراجراف يجي بعدها خطوة البير editor. Is a classmate who reads your paper and helps you improve the content and organization. A peer editor's job. انتبه هنا شنو عمل البير editor job is to read, ask questions and comment on what is good and on what might be changed or made clearer. يعني هنا عمله فقط يقرأ، يسأل question، ينطي comments، feedback سواء كانت positive or negative أو مثلا ينصحك إنه ممكن تغيرها. لكن ننتبه he or she should not، ننتبه لها should not check your grammar or punctuation. أيضا should not rewrite your paper or your paragraphs. ما يسوي check للجرامر and punctuation، ما يعيد صياغة الباراجراف مالتنا اللي انطيناه له يصححها. راح نشوف عمله فقط ينطي feedbacks. إذا لاحظنا ممكن يجيك صح وخطأ إنه من ينطي هذا الفيدباك راح تدير الكوركت، لكن لما أنطيك باراجراف وعليه feedback عن الجرامر راح تدير له خطأ. هذا مو عمله فقط ينطي feedbacks positive or negative، أو ممكن يشيل جزء أو تضيف جزء، لكن ما ينطي comments على الجرامر نهائي. هنا هذا عمل البير editor. هنا راح نسوي revision الكل chapter 1 المحاضرة السابقة وهذه. These are the important points covered in this chapter. Use correct format when preparing a assignment. A sentence has a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. sentence الجملة تميز إنه هي عندها subject verb، وبي إنه هي تعكس لنا أو تعبرنا عن جملة كاملة أو عبارة فكرة كاملة. A simple sentence has one subject verb combination. هاي خليناها subject verb agreement or combination. A simple sentence may have more than one verb or more than one subject. مثل ما أخذنا ممكن الجملة البسيطة عندها 2 أفعال مع subject واحد، وممكن subject 2 subjects مع فعل واحد. But it has only one subject verb combination. Subjects and verbs always agree in number, singular or plural. There are a few special situations that sometimes cause difficulties with subject-verb agreement. طبعا هنا خذيناهم some all قلنا نحفظ ونباع على ال prepositional phrases اللي أمامها. يلا بعدين نحدد إذا كان الفعل وياهم plural or singular. A fragment is incomplete sentence. Is an incomplete sentence. It is a sentence error. A fragment might be missing a subject or a verb, or it might express an incomplete thought. Now the rules for capitalization in English. The process of writing has 4 main steps: pre-writing, organizing, writing, and polishing. Listening is a useful pre-writing technique to get ideas. هاي مهمة الفقرة. Outlining is a good way to organize your ideas. أيضا هاي مهمة الفقرة، ممكن يجينا سؤال عليهم اثنينهم. هنا طبعا writing assignment. Choose a person who has made a difference in the world, in his or her community, or in your life. Okay. Write a paragraph of about 200 words about this person. Follow all the steps in the writing process. Pre-write to get ideas. Step 1. Pre-write to get ideas. Use the listening practice that you completed in the try it out exercise on page 17 اللي خذينا قبل شوية. Step 2. Organize the ideas. Decide which idea will go first, second, third, and so on. Make a simple outline listing the ideas in the order you will write about them. Use the outline to guide you as you write. Write the rough draft. Write rough draft at the top of your paper. يعني هنا title. Begin your paragraph with a sentence that names the person and tells where or on whom he or she made a difference. For example, يعني نكتب الأشخاص أو على من أثرهم، فممكن عندنا يكون لنا مثال: My high school physics teacher changed my ideas about school. Martin Luther King changed the way black people live in the United States forever. فهنا ممكن تكتب الشخص والفرق اللي عمله هنا. Pay attention to your sentence structure. Make sure all of your sentences have at least one subject and one verb. يعني شوي نعطيها انتباه الفقرة. عندنا أيضا هنا polish the rough draft اللي هي step 4. Exchange papers with a classmate and ask him or her to check your rough draft using pair editing worksheet 1 on page 198. Then discuss the completed worksheet and decide what changes you should make. Write a second draft. Use self-editing worksheet 1 on page 199 to check your second draft for grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure. طبعا هذا الكلام اللي عندنا هاي الستيب هنا وهي غير مطلوبة عندنا تلقوها بنهاية الكتاب. لكن احنا نقدر مع الكلاس ميت زميلنا انه نشوف الاخطاء، لكن الجرامر نحاول انه احنا او شخص اخر مثلا your teacher ممكن تسألوني حتى نشوف الجرامر. لكن الكلاس ميت فقط يسوي pair editing للافكار اللي عندنا، لكن الجرامر ما مسموح، فقط الأستاذ اللي مسموح إنه يشوف الجرامر معناتنا. Write a final copy. Hand in your rough draft. Your second draft, your final copy. هنا مهمة. Your second draft, it's your final copy. and the page containing the two editing worksheets. Your teacher may also ask you to handle your pre-writing paper. إيماننا راح نشوفها هنا مثل اللي هنا موجود عندنا. هذا كل ما يخص محاضرتنا. شكرا لكم.